I ordered a cheeseburger the other day with no pickles on it. And when it showed up, it had pickles on it. This is going to be an issue. Fellow Toastmasters, guests, friends, this speech is inspired by a challenge from Matt Warman a couple months ago to add a word to the English lexicon. At the time, I picked one of my favorite foreign swear words because I didn't have anything else. But now that I've lived a bit more life and have had some new experiences, I've found a sensation that I'd really like to capture. The word that I will be proposing to you tonight is picklejuicy. It is a word which captures a situation where your good options have evaporated, and all that's left are some options which are blasé and uninteresting. So this cheeseburger. I was expecting a cheeseburger with no pickles on it, which is why I asked them for no pickles on my cheeseburger. I'm the sort of guy where some days of the week I want pickles on my cheeseburger, and some days of the week I don't. I know a few of you are a little bit confused by this already, so let me explain. Matt is the sort of guy who will only ever eat pickles on his cheeseburger. If there is not a pickle on his cheeseburger, he sends it back immediately. On the other side of the room, we've got Mary, who refuses cheeseburgers that have pickles on them every time. I have it on good word that if the cucumber has been in the same room as brine, she will not touch it. I happen to straddle the fence on this particular issue. Some days, it's a Matt Larman pickle sort of a day. Some days, it's a Mary no pickle sort of a day. Today, it was a no pickle sort of a day for me. I was absolutely shocked when my cheeseburger came. I sat down. I opened it up just to make sure, and right there in front of me is a pair of pickles. The ketchup had been dabbed just in the right spot, so it looked like a pair of pickly eyes staring up at me going, "Yeah, what are you going to do about it?" That's a good question, Mr. Cheeseburger Pickleface. What am I going to do about it? The first option that sort of jumps out at you is, what if you just eat the cheeseburger as it sits? You know, there are some days where I'm in a pickle sort of a mood, Matt. But not today. It feels like I'm admitting defeat. I can't just give up like that. I don't want those pickles. Maybe I take the cheeseburger all the way back to the kitchen and demand that they give me a cheeseburger the way that I wanted it, with no pickles. But I can see the lines already starting to get backed up, and I have to worry about the cook spitting on my food, and I don't want to be that guy, and it just sounds awkward. I don't know, that doesn't seem like a very good option either. You might think to yourself, well, why don't you just take the pickles off, Chris? It's not that much. But if you've ever tried that before, you would know it doesn't work. And the reason it doesn't work is pickle juice. From the time the cheeseburger moves from the kitchen to your plate out in the middle of the restaurant, the pickle juice has had all the opportunity it needs to sink down and soak into your bun and to your meat. The cheeseburger no longer tastes like a cheeseburger with no pickles on it, and that possibility has been erased forever. If I were to bite into that cheeseburger, rather than the ebullient, satisfying experience that I was hoping for, there would be nothing but the savor of broken promises. Every bite, I would have the cries of dill and vinegar echoing around the cavern of my mouth. This is not my cheeseburger. And only now, staring me in the face, do I see it was never going to be my cheeseburger. This is the sensation of picklejuicy. It's not just the flavor of the cheeseburger. It's the whole mess. It's not really a soul-crushing experience. It would even be an exaggeration to say that it's a soul-sucking experience. But rather, because there's no good options and all of the options that I'm left with are uninteresting, this is an experience where your soul is slowly dribbling out the side, sort of like a little drop of ketchup trying to roll down the side of a cheeseburger bun, escaping as slowly and boringly as it can. That's a pickle juicy situation, folks. My first choice for all of you would be to live a life where you always get your first choice, where everything works out at least okay, at least a little bit exciting. Perhaps your second choice could be that your bad choices are so bad that you can choose between them without having to stress about these kinds of things. But of course, neither of those is the world that we live in, so at the risk of sounding pickle juicy, I guess I'll go with my third choice. I hope that one of these days, when all of the good choices have evaporated for you, and you're stuck with the soul-draining sensation, dribble, 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 wondering what you should do, you'll think of me and remember that you are in a pickle-juicy situation. This speech has been inspired by the 2016 presidential election. Thank you.